All right, so if you come across this video, you're probably looking for a We Buy Houses company in Waxhaw, North Carolina. My name is Matthew Manus. I'm the owner of M1 Property Group. I thought I'd put together a quick video to offer our services and show you how we might be able to help you out. So if you're looking to sell in Waxhaw, actually used to live in Waxhaw for a little while, our ultimate service is we're problem solvers. So we try to go the extra mile to make the process as simple and easy as possible, especially compared to traditional selling methods. We typically deal with complex real estate problems in the majority of our closings. So, it's properties that need a lot of repairs. It could be multiple heir situations or inheritance or something like that. Title issues, complicated liens and judgments, unfinanceable properties, but the list kind of goes on and on. So at a high level, the things we offer are convenience, easy process, speed, flexibility. There's no need to make expensive repairs or deal with contractors that aren't going to show up on time and all that. Moving assistance, we can set up and coordinate moving trucks and account for that in our cost. And then there's not even there's no need to even clean the house. So you can basically take what you want and leave the rest. We've literally bought properties that were full of furniture. So a lot of our sellers really like that. On top of that, so there's no Realtor Commissions. We're buying direct. And then there's, it's basically a for sale by owner transaction. No closing costs. So we actually pay for all the buyer and seller closing costs. And then all our closings are with the local real estate attorney. That's Harry Marsh Law. I've been working with Harry for about 5 years now. All our North and South Carolina closings, extremely professional, reputable firm, and they really understand complex closing, situations. So that's really why we like to go with them compared to other closing attorneys. So on top of that, we can actually set up a mobile notary for you. You don't even have to worry about attending the closing and trying to get across town and leave work and all that sort of stuff. So we can actually have a mobile notary come to your work or your house, and you'll sign the documents. The notary will notarize them, and then they'll drop them back off at Harry's office, and then Harry's got everything he needs to close the transaction. So put together this table that basically outlines, our process versus the traditional sale process. So I've already kind of touched on most of our process there, but you can kind of browse the blue column there, but I'll focus on the yellow column for the traditional sale. In terms of repairs, you're typically going to need to make, minimum repairs to get the house market ready. It might be paint and carpet or backsplash or something like that. There's going to be cleaning, obviously, it needs to take place. You're actually going to need to plan to keep or at least try to keep the property clean between showings. And that can be difficult with kids and pets and things like that. You need to be prepared for a lot of showings going on at all times of the day. You got to consider Realtor Commissions, which can be, 6% of the sale price. There's closing costs. So, you'll have to pay your closing costs on your side, but it's not uncommon for buyers that maybe are a little strapped for cash to ask you to pay for their their closing costs or help them with their down payment on their loan. There's the time element. So most retail buyers are going to use a mortgage company or a bank, and those loans can take 30 to 45 days to close. And then moving assistance. So there's it's not very common at all that in a traditional setting that your buyers are going to, offer moving assistance. And then lastly, coordination. We'll do literally whatever we need to do to help you in the sale. We can box things up when in the moving process. We can, if you want to attend the closing and you don't have a car or something like that, we can come pick you up and take you to the closing. We can print off documents. We can be a courier for you. It really doesn't matter. But in a traditional sale, you're more so on your own. But maybe the realtor can help you to some degree. All right, so you like to try to go over our cost to sell, not our cost to sell, but the cost to sell. All right, so I'd like to try to educate our sellers on the cost to sell using traditional methods. So there's a number of deductions that end up taking place. a lot of sellers don't realize it because the average seller maybe only sells 1 to 2 properties in their lifetime or so. So I do try to cover those. Just kind of hitting these real quick. You got Realtor Commissions, which most people know about, 6% of the sale price. Closing costs, that can range from 2 to 4% of the sale price. That includes attorney's fees, but that can be on the higher end. If you've got a buyer that's requesting, help with making their down payment on their loan, or there are other closing costs for the attorney. Holding costs, so that's going to be holding on to the property while you're trying to sell it. Paying utilities, insurance, interest, HOA, and landscaping that may or may not be applicable. That can vary from property to property. Repairs, so getting the property market ready, like we've already kind of discussed. You've got repairs that can arise from the home inspection. So home inspector finds some issues, and then your buyer decides to ask you to repair those items, and that can vary from property to property. And then lastly, a couple of contractual items that usually can work their way in. Home warranty request, so that might be around $500. And then the appliance request. So it doesn't always happen, but it may. Your buyer might end up asking for you to keep the fridge or to leave the fridge and maybe a washer and dryer or something like that. So all those costs can add up pretty quick. It can be maybe somewhere in the neighborhood of 12 to 15% of the list price. If you're considering traditional selling methods. We do get the question a lot. What kind of properties do you buy? So like you probably picked up on it, we try to solve problems. We're dealing with properties that have a lot of issues and these sort of things. But usually what we're doing is digging in and finding a customized solution to a unique situation. So kind of properties we have experience with are, foreclosure, people that are behind on payments, maybe underwater, properties that need repairs, could be fire damage, water damage, code enforcement violations, inherited properties, those properties that are in probate, multiple heir situations, which can sometimes be complicated, retirement scenarios, relocation for work, maybe, vacant land. We have experience with easement issues and things that make land difficult to use. Title issues such as liens and judgments, and even back taxes. But I think you can see the trend here is that it's properties that have challenges, unique challenges. So basically, just kind of wrapping it up. I think you have to ask yourself if you're willing to wait 3 to 4 months to get maybe 85% of your list price by going the traditional route. By the time you find a realtor and make repairs on your house and find contractors, get a photographer and get your house listed, and then actually find a buyer, go through the home inspection process, try to get to closing and waiting for the bank for 30 to 45 days, it can add up, in terms of time. But with our process, there's no repairs, no commissions, no closing costs, quick closings, and basically you can take what you want and just leave the rest. And then we actually can offer moving assistance as well. So I do appreciate you taking the time to check out the video. I hope you found it useful. We buy houses and land in Waxhaw. So if you know anyone looking to sell, or maybe yourself, feel free to reach out to us. You can reach us at our office, 704-727-6161. You can email us at info@m1propertygroup.com. And you can also fill out the web forms on our site at www.m1propertygroup.com. Again, I do appreciate you taking the time to check out the video.